to another exciting adventures in food. Chef Scott Blair. Today we're making pizza. Not just pizza, but flatbread pizza. So I kind of streamlined the operation here to make things a little bit easier for when we're going through this day and for your viewing pleasures. I went ahead and I got let's do a flyby, show what we got. I got our sliced plum tomatoes, garlicky tomatoes, and then go back there, Mr. Cameraman. All right, so sliced garlic, extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, fresh herbs, choppy in there, ready to boogie. Now we can roll on over here into our dough. So this is, I do believe is 4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of dry activated yeast, 2 teaspoons of sugar. I do a little pinch of salt just for a little bit of flavor. I also threw some dry herbs inside here to mix into it because, you know, I like to have a little bit of complexity to what we're doing. Water, which was a 1 1/4 cup, maybe a little over 1 1/4 cups of water. And then I also added a little bit of olive oil in there from once I dough hooked it and started stretching it. Let it proof. I plastic wrapped it and I let it proof for a little over an hour. It blew up really nice. It's super soft, as you can see. It's full of love and life. We're ready to make this magic happen. Then over here I just got some flour for dusting when I'm rolling out, and then my fresh tomatoes sliced, ready to go. So this is actually a very quick recipe to do, something that you can do with the fam, get the kids together, have them get their fingers in there and having fun with you. If you don't have time to make pizza dough, you can usually go to a grocery store and buy it if you want. And but this is a flat dough, so it's not gonna puff super huge like like a pizza dough will. So we're gonna roll it thinner. We're gonna make a weird shape, which is what I like, a more natural. And then it'll puff just a little bit. Yes, so I asked for fresh basil. Unfortunately, due to the COVID, our local suppliers, it's like they'd never heard of basil recently. And what they had was black and dying. So I will not put that on my show. So we're doing dry. Cool? It's all good. All right, so let's boogie out. So first of all, I'm gonna take my flour. I'm gonna rain a little bit of flour. Oops, it's raining flour. So this, I can get at least 3 more pies out of this, right? So I'm just gonna start working it, start rolling it out in my hands, try to make a little ball out of it if I want. Then I'm gonna start pushing it out a little bit with my fingers, right? You know, if you want a perfectly round pie, knock yourself out. But that kind of defeats the whole purpose of a flatbread, right? Flatbread are usually like a weird oval, almost egg shape. So I'm just gonna use my trusty dusty rolling pin, start moving it out. I'm gonna roll this for about a 1/4 inch. So it's not gonna be super thick, which is the nice thing about it. This dough is like very soft. I really like it. It's easy to work with to make those weird shapes, which is always fun. Now this is a 2-step process. So as we make these doughs, I'm ready a sheet pan with parchment paper on it. I'm gonna take that dough, I'm gonna slap it on top. Follow me, Mr. Cameraman. So, I'm gonna take a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Just gonna brush it over the top, right? Bring some love. Now this is the fun part. Or you can get the kiddies involved if they're hanging out with you. Get your phalanges. You're going to take your fingers. You're going to poke it. Do a little bit of pokey pokey. Like so. Make some ripples. So that way it'll puff up and make bubbles and such throughout. Alright? That's where you can let the kids go crazy. Get the little fingers in there. So I got all my little dollops, right? In a high heated oven, 400 degrees, 425 I think is what I put inside the recipe. I'm doing 400, just nice and easy. We're going to throw this in and do a par bake on it, right? And all I want to do is, where it gets sort of a little bit of golden browns on top, it's firming up that dough. It also puffs it a little bit. Putting that one on the bottom rack. Now, I'm going to continue working my other doughs and preparing those, getting them ready for the oven. To help us out, I've already created a pie that I'll show you here in a bit once we pull it out. Once we make it. And we'll make it and we'll pull out the pie that's in the oven right now. And because I like to melt it really good, get that cheese rocking, get some color on it as well. In the meantime, we can make some pizza pies. Make some doughs. Have some fun with it, right? You smell that other one?
The smell-o-vision is great.
The smell-o-vision it's on point, right?
Very much so.
It's very good. And do you know why? I'm glad you asked. Here's why. These bad boys right here. These sexy garlicky tomatoes, right? So I just take them, like I said before, the recipe's super easy. I'm slicing up the desired slice that I like. This breaks down pretty good in the oven. So just a little under 1/4 of an inch. So I'm slicing those bad boys down, right? And then you take fresh garlic and you slice some chunks out of it. Olive oil, salt, and pepper. And you really want to mix it up really good, and fresh basil in there, if you got it. If not, feel free to use some dry stuff. No one's going to take away your birthday. Once you do that, throw these bad boys in your refrigerator. You can do this at night, the night before, and just let that wonderful sauce, see that sauce in there? Let that wonderful sauce just marinate,
Brings the flavors out.
marinate the yumminess out of it, right? That's what I'm talking about, all that goodness. So if you do that and let it, bring out that flavor of the garlic and all the wonderfulness that you're smelling in this wonderful kitchen today. Fun for the whole family, quick and easy to do. A lot of these steps can be done way ahead to make your life a little bit easier. I know everyone's busy in this world that we're in. So, what better way to make a cool meal for you and your fam than make a quick flatbread pizza? Don't be foolish. I mean, this dough is soft, super soft. Easy to work with. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever had to deal with challenging doughs out there that they have a lot of gluten in them, and every time you roll them out, they just kind of suck right back in. You can't get anywhere. This works really nice. All-purpose flour, so I didn't use any high gluten. And I did use the yeast, and I mean, there's other flatbread recipes out there that use either baking soda or no leavening agent at all. Just depends on what you're looking for. Like I told you before, these are just guides to guide you into the next awesomeness. Don't be afraid to change it up. Make it totally cool for you and your fam. How's that one look? Look at all those herbs in there. And this bakes out, it's gonna be sexy. It's gonna roll it off to the side. Let's take a peek at some stuff, right? Somewhere around here is an oven light. Ooh. So here's pizza number one, ready to go, getting crispy and naughty. I'm letting those, basically the juices of the tomato. I don't want a soggy pie, I want some crispness to it. That's the nice thing about the flatbread pizzas, they get crispy. But it does purge out a little bit of tomato juice, which is fine. But down here we're working on, as you can see, we're going to puff up a little bit. Starting to puff right now. Starting to get these nice air pockets in there. And we're just going to let this cook and get golden brown. With that olive oil on top, will help that process. Look at him. So I'm going to let it go just a little bit longer. I want to get some more color on this. But this is the party that I'm talking about that we're going to have here in a minute.
That looks amazing.
We'll give that another 5.
Looks really good.
Thank you, fellow teammate. So while I'm doing that, spit it up. Let me do some house cleaning. A little bit of clean up the front yard here. Get it ready. So I'm gonna scrape up all that flour that we had out there. Don't need that, right? Don't want the flour on the bottom of our pan. Tends to set off the smoke alarm. Never fun. Alright. The pizzazz. Get some of this dust up. There we go. Getting ready for the build. Are you ready for the build? I know I am. Dry thy hands. We'll be ready for the build. Alright. Let's take a peek. Open her up, see what we look like. Go ahead. Looking pretty naughty, eh? Starting to get some nice crispy edges, yes. Look at that. I'm just gonna take this bad boy. Use my gigantic flipper pancake turner. Just gonna put this over here for now, let it chill for a second while I prepare the next dough. So the doughs actually take about 15, 20 minutes, depending on what level of crispness and goldenness that you want. Once again, just putting it out. And do a little olive oil. Brushing it on there. Olive oil gives flavor and also keeps it from drying out. Use your fingers. This is one time that you can always say, I had to use my fingers. Nothing wrong with it. So you get there, you poke it. Scary, right? Alright. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to rotate. One up, one down. Keeping it fresh. We don't want to burn the bottoms, right? Look at that pizza pie. Listen to this. Crispy. That's going to be a crispy pie. So, depending on your appetite, this could be for one person. This could be for two. You can make as many pies as you want and say they're all mine. That's fine. I don't judge here. There's no judgment. Just good eating, right? No judgment. No judgment at all. Look at me. No judging. Let's eat. So we got that. Waiting for this pie to finish up. In the meantime, let's get our plate out. We can actually place that there. We can cut it up. We can serve it. Someone wants to caveman it, go and chow the whole thing. Awesome. Whatever you want to do. We're leaving it to you. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Did you hear that? Oh. Did you hear that?
Crispy.
That crispity crunch of awesomeness.
I'm sure you can hear it all the way upstairs.
This is like sound the alarm. Crispy goodness is happening right now.
Alert.
Yummy alert is what it is. Let's see if I can do this. Fresh mozz on there. Garlicky tomatoes. That boy is ready for the party. So how do we get to this point? Right? It's not that hard. Let's do one, shall we? Are you ready? I'm ready. How about you over there? You ready to build this bad boy? Let's build it. Okay. Now we got the show stuff out of the way. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this operation, which is making the goodness. So we got our nice dough here. Now this could go a little bit longer if we wanted to, get it crispy. As you can see, it's starting to brown up on the bottom, which is nice. So we're just basically going to take this pup. We'll leave it here because it's hot. Grab the garlicky tomatoes. I'm just going to strategically place these tomatoes of yum throughout the land of the flatbread dough. They will gel together and make a wholesome community of awesomeness and yumminess. How's that look? Delish. Alright. Fresh mozz. So this fresh mozz is about a 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to strategically place this throughout the tomatoes. So this is the margarita. It's the color of the flag, or the red, the green, and the white of the Italian flag. That's where they get the name margarita from. The Queen of Italy. Margarita. Mamma mia. If you want to get really dangerous, watch this. Ooh, I hit a little touch of pepper. Ooh, and if you really want to get crazy, a little crushed red. Now you got yourself a party, right? So this bad boy is going to go back in the oven with all that juicy goodness. Let's do a rotate. He's starting to puff, looking good. And you go. We're going to keep this party rolling. So that's how we build the margarita. Very simple, very easy, great way to have something yummy, fast for the whole fam, and enjoy. Once you got the ingredients, as you can see, I've already made 2 pies. We've been rolling 20 minutes, so you can bang these out really quick for your whole family. If it's you got a family of 4 and 2 pies will satisfy everyone, awesome. Even if you have leftover dough, if you didn't use all the dough, you can actually put olive oil around it, wrap it up in a bag, you can freeze it as well. So definitely enjoy this recipe. You can find this recipe as well as all the other ones that we do. Look at that. All the other recipes that we do out there on chefscottblair.com, which is my website. You can follow me on YouTube, Chef Scott Blair. Here on Twitch, click that follow button. YouTube, click that follow as well and subscribe. And next week we'll have another adventure of food. We do this every weekend on Sundays, usually around 5 or 6, depending on how we feel. Sometimes it's earlier. We will not be told what to do. You can also follow me on Instagram, which is Chef Scott Blair 99 as well. So check me out, drop me a note, send me a message, shoot me some pics of your pizzas. I'd love to see your guys' work, all right? Until next time, peace!
until you get a solid.
Thanks, Dad. You're welcome, son. There you go. All right. Hey, you ready?
Ready.
You ready?
Yes. Let's boogie.